It is. So I'm very excited to see how this is all going to play out. Now, the link for the draft has gone out. Let me send that over to you, sir.
Oh, it's draft, isn't it?
It's draft. Of course it's draft. Otherwise, I would have just given you a number. But, however, so we're going to get on into the drafts very, very shortly. We do know that our first map is going to be Sky Temple.
Sky Temple coming into it. It is a little bit of a favorite, I want to say, at least in the upper echelons of maps. But we have 7 maps now that more or less have distributed their playability quite a bit. We don't see Haunted Mines really that much, but even Blackguard's Bay has really come back into it. So as a first pick here for Sky Temple, I think Tempo Storm, I mean, 2ARK has been going warriorless, and Tempo Storm was likely watching those streams, right? But Tempo Storm here has a big chance, I think, to start stacking some of that range damage and really start putting the hurt with that comp for Tempo, because this is defending the point.
It is. And so that's where I'm going to be very curious to see if 2ARK is just, if they were also playing with their food by going for those warriorless compositions, I should say, or were they actually starting to try that out and shift the meta just a bit? Because, Jester, we've been seeing some double warrior meta, but no warrior meta? We've seen it only a handful of times working out. So I'm curious to see if this is actually going to be their strategy going on into everything. But we've got the draft link. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Oh, they're just mapping map bans.
Yeah, but we already know what the map is. It is going to be Sky Temple. When I saw it actually come up, I kind of figured we were going to jump right into it, but they are taking their time on this one.
Yeah, they're taking their sweet fancy time here. Of course, leading up the tempo for later on in the games when everything's going to be absolutely hype and excited. But they're just, I don't know why they're, I need to say go ahead.
Right, so I just gave them
I'm so bad at this.
I'm
so sorry, Jester.
We are good to go. These guys, they know what's up. They've been doing this a long time. If we don't say go, they kind of stall out, and you can't actually stall out the drafts. So it is nice, but unneeded at this point, and it does look like finally we're going to blaze right through it. And now, here we go. The beginning of the drafts. It looks like 2ARK is actually going to be first banned on this one. They will be red for this first match. And what do we know about Tempo Storm? Well, Asmodans, Zeratools, Sylvanas all do amazing things with Tempo and on this map.
Right, but so let's think about this. I didn't actually get to see the picks and bans for the 2ARK Gaming last game, so I don't know what their bans were for that. I believe they banned an Uther and they banned something else. I can't remember off the top of my head, but are they going to start going for those bans to get that warriorless meta, or are they going to go for more standard picks? Maybe ban out a Zeratul, maybe ban out a Sylvanas, just as expected.
Yeah, it's pretty meta right now. If you're not going to play the Sylvanas and you have first pick, you got to ban it out. Tempo Storm got to be very curious about what they're going to be throwing here, because Lost Vikings do amazing on this map. And with the first pick potential coming out of 2ARK, will Tempo go a bit more meta there and ban out that, or are they going to specifically look for a target ban?
They might have to specifically go for a target ban. I mean, Kael'thas was doing pretty good work, even with the Pyroblast, which is a little bit unexpected in that last match. And again, we were saying Tempo Storm have to be watching these matches because, well, they weren't really doing anything else, so they might have seen what 2ARK was up to. However, right now they're taking a bit of time. Maybe they go for an Illidan ban, maybe they go for something like Zeratul, or maybe even just start taking out something like an assassin themselves.
So it used to be all about the Quibsy Illidan. You remember the big day that we actually found the Warriors comp? It's all about the Illidan, and everything just kind of went their way that day. It has been a long time since. But Quibsy these days does tend to actually favor more Jaina. And I think it's Panucci actually playing out those melees. He has really been wrecking people with that Kerrigan as of late. And if it is going to be a melee, I guess this is the best time to do it. 2ARK saying no Abathur. Sorry, Tempo saying no Abathur. 2ARK up to pick.
Yeah, so this allows 2ARK to still pick up Illidan, but they're not going to have the super, super strong Illidan combination. So that's not that bad. They pick up the Kael'thas for their first pick, however, for 2ARK Gaming. Again, one of the most strong assassins in the game right now, has the ability to really level up at level 16, not just actually in levels, but also in damage as well. Once he picks up Flamethrower as well as Ignite, his damage is ridiculous.
Yep, playing for the late game on that one. Now, Tempo Storm have a big chance here to actually take Jaina away from 2-Arc because the Song of Fire and Ice is a devastating one indeed. And again, Quibsy absolutely adores the Jaina, and he plays it very differently than a lot of the other Jainas out there. He picks up Icy Veins at 13, for example, instead of the Sprint or the Ice Block. So he does kind of play it a little bit differently. Tempo Storm, not too phased as of yet. Zeratul is going to be there first. I really do think it will be a Jaina here.
Yeah, Jaina would be a really good pickup. Of course, it's Sky Temple. You want to do that AoE damage, and Sky Temple is a great map to do it. On the shrines, coming into the shrines, there are a lot of choke points, and the shrine itself is a giant AoE nightmare. So Jaina, absolutely amazing. She's just overall a great pick anyway. Zeratul, we've been singing his praise all day. Void Prisons can change fights so drastically.
So will 2-Arc go for the Brightwing, or will they go for the Uther? Are they going to leave one of those for the ban? They are going to put up the front line this early on. That's very intriguing that Anubarak is going to be highly prioritized before the next ban sequence. But does this mean that they're going to go for... Ooh, all right. They're also highly prioritized their Malfurion. They just came off of a win with this Malfurion in the last set. And they're not chancing it to get banned.
And you know what they're also not going for? They're not going for that warrior list composition we were talking about quite a bit. So they're going to pick up that Anubarak, play with the Beatles. Go back in the 1960s, of course, to do so. But
somebody said that in a lane of ETC versus Anubarak, it's the Beatles versus the Rolling Stone. That's one of the ETC talents. Yeah. I know that was pretty clever. There's the Odin ban that we were looking for. So the entire combination has been banned out from Tempo Storm. And 2-Arc, what is still left on the table? Are they going to go for a Mirrodin if they do want to think about a Kerrigan? Because so far I'd say they're likely leaning towards it. Would this be a Mirrodin ban? Would this be an Uther ban?
Really, there could be a couple of different things they could go for. They go for actually the Brightwing ban, which actually I was thinking about in the top of my head just for the global presence that you get on Sky Temple, as well as promote. Tempo Storm loves to run those promote compositions. Brightwing is one of the best people to run promote on if you're going to go for double promote. However, even if you don't get that, Brightwing by herself with Protective Shield is absolutely ridiculous amounts of healing, as well as just sustain and everything else, especially with Polymorph. So that's a good ban. Tempo Storm, though, has to respond. They need to pick up a support. We've been singing his praise all day. Dreadnought might go for that Rhaegar.
I'm thinking Rhaegar Tassadar. They have been running a lot of Tassadar. It does bring another promote to the table. Archon at level 10. And there's the Tassadar now.
Tassadar is also really nice here for Tempo Storm for a couple of reasons. This also stops 2-Arc from being able to grab Tassadar as well. They already have that strong backline. They could supplement that a little bit more, but if they pick up something like a Tassadar, go for the double support with Malfurion and Tassadar, they also have the the Oracle, to stop Zeratul in his tracks. Now they have the effectiveness of being really, really sneaky with their Zeratul and being very aggressive, and that's going to be definitely Zuna sitting on that, and Zuna loves to be aggressive. So taking away that Tassadar, you get promote, you take away the Oracle.
Now we also got a Mirrodin to go with Tempo Storm, and this is the last two picks. I highly suspect it's a Kerrigan coming out from 2-Arc. They have the Malfurion, the Anubarak. They've banned out the Brightwing. There's no Abathur or Illidan available for anybody, especially those last picks from Tempo Storm. So is this the point where we're going to see that melee engage, or are they going to go another route? They could go with the Tyrael, go for that front line of the Tyrael Anubarak. Both of them can get Burning Rage. 2 Blood for Bloods right there as well.
Tyrael's a little bit of a risky pick here because they're going to be going up against a Tassadar and a Jaina. While Tyrael's really good at diving in, Jaina picking up Ice Block at level 13 kind of puts a stopper in that. Tassadar as well as got his Dimensional Shift. That leaves Zeratul, and he's very, very difficult to pin down. So they could still go for it. Wow. Ooh. Let's talk about the Rolling Stones.
Oh!
Okay, so 2-Arc last game had no warriors. This game said, let's go for all the warriors. ETC Stitches, Malfurion, Anubarak, and Kael'thas. This composition's leaving me in stitches. It's absolutely gorgeous. In fact, let's start throwing a mosh pit up in here and get really excited about this one.
Apparently my stitches did not decide to load at all, so I don't understand. That was really weird to watch on the preview monitor. That was super weird. Last pick here is the Rhaegar, as we did actually expect coming up from Tempo Storm. So what is 2-Arc doing with this? Well, with this many warriors, the only thing that I can really think of, and I said there's going to be a Kerrigan, but I guess this works out because it's 3 melee. I said Kerrigan, I said Tyrael, but different strains of thought, I suppose. 2Art Gaming really do throw wrenches in these plans, but are they just going for literally the longevity aspect of staying on points?
If it works, right? This map is about staying on points. Shrines are incredibly important, and the sustainability is what's needed. Look at these heroes. You got a Nubarak. He's got those beetles. If he goes for level 7 talent, those are going to heal him back up. He also has a shield. That's a lot of sustainability. ETC, he's got his guitar solo. That gives him a lot of sustainability. Stitches, he's got his, not Gorge, the other one on his E. That also gives him a lot of sustainability. Then you mix in the Malfurion. God, can you ever get through this?
Can you get through this? How many giant killers do we have to the name of Tempo Storm? 1. How many Blood for Bloods do we have? 1.
Okay. Yeah, and with the Tassadar too, you don't have a lot of damage. You don't have a lot of burst either. And wow, this is going to be really rough for Tempo to chew through.
FCJ Stitches. That's all I can say. FCJ Stitches. FCJ Stitches.
Yeah, where's that Stitches trailer? We need to start playing that again.
Stitches is going to get a hell of a lot of play out of this one, but wow, am I ever just so mind blown at this comp. 2Art Gaming, the red herring when it comes to these kind of comps. I mean, no warrior into 3 warrior. Who would have guessed it?
Yeah, right? It's either on or off, it seems like, with 2Art Gaming. It's a flip of a switch here for whether or not they want to have any warriors or all the warriors. Oh my god, this is absolutely amazing. I am very curious to see what they're going to do. 2Arc, in history, has always been one of these teams that do these really weird things, and sometimes they flop. They don't really do that much. Everybody kind of just like, 2Arc being 2Arc.
2Arc being 2Arc,
Sometimes, Jester, they change a little bit of that meta, or a lot of that meta.
A lot of the meta is about to be changed if this works. If 2Art Gaming will take this game number 1 of the round of 16. I mean, this is the money right here. 2Art Gaming, this is tournament life on the line because only the winners will move on to next weekend of this best of 3. This first game, this might just be an experiment. It might not work, but it might actually work. And it's really scary to think about that on both situations. If it doesn't, 2Arc is going to be down 0-1, and their atypical drafting might not serve them well when they're down a game. But if they do win, Tempo Storm's got to be just scratching their head thinking, how do we come back out of this?
Yeah, that's exactly what's great about the first game of the series. But sometimes, it's really weird how series logic works, right? Because sometimes the first game you want to pull out your weird stuff so you can get that early advantage, but sometimes when it's the second game, it's like, all right, we can't play with our cards too close to the chest. Let's go all out. And they start pulling out some crazy, crazy things in order to really mess with their opponent's head. And that's why I love these series. At least in the beginning here, 2Arc is showing they want to start off wily, maybe go back to being reserved. Tempo Storm might start off being reserved and go into something wily.
Wily Coyote is something that really comes to mind when it comes to these drafts. I mean, he tries and tries and tries, and he does some really weird things, but the Roadrunner's always one step ahead. Is this finally the chance for that Coyote to shine? Is 2Arc, with this triple tank setup, going to be able to contest the Temples, the Boss Calls, the Mercs? Like, what kind of situations are we going to be putting ourselves into here?
You know what? You bring up the Roadrunner, and let's just bring it back to the fact that we're on the road to BlizzCon. So if they're the Wily Coyote, then it's going to be Tempo who's going to go down that road. They're the ones who are going to keep running. But I don't know if that's going to be so clear-cut here. Maybe it's going to be that one episode where the Coyote actually catches the Roadrunner. Let's get on into these games. Level 1 has been reached. We've entered the game on the left-hand side. It is Tempo Storm, Soldier, Zuna, Dreadnought, Arthalon, and KO, and they make up the blue team.
And on the right, these guys have fought tooth and nail through the brackets, a few game 3s here and there, but they looked in superb form with this warriorless comp. We'll see what the triple warriors can do. Panucci, Furious D, Quibsy, Chubbs, and Schrader going to be making up 2Arc, and it looks like they're prepping to die for that eye.
Yeah, they are. They've already got the setup for the hook, but it doesn't look like Tempo Storm is going to fall for it. Zuna already scouting out here. Look at that little wily Protoss. We keep using the word wily, and I'm going to keep using it. I love it. It's a good word. Panucci with the hook, not going to land, but Soldier, ooh, what are you doing out there?
Oh man, this is not the best time for this game to start lagging on me. Not the best time. All right, so a little bit of a death ball here into the mid. We do got, the splits is basically all three warriors have gone to a separate lane. We got Trader into the bottom, and does he have beetles? He has the regen master. We do got Chubbs actually with that scouting drone, and he's probably to be setting up. There he goes into that jungle. Top is actually now Panucci and Furious D. We did have the Stitches mid, and you know, what kind of protection will this triple comp actually afford Quibsy, who's playing this Kael'thas? Because this early game protection, oh, it's starting to lack a little.
Well, right now, it's going to be a little bit rough, right? Like, Flame Strike has got, you know, it's got an okay amount of range. Oh, man, Zuna trying to make that turn to First Blood. Doesn't look like it's going to work. Arthlon going on forward. Zuna going to take a good amount of damage. Got to back up here. Shrine's popping up. Anyway, sorry. Flame Strike, it's got a somewhat decent range right now. But when he hits 13 and he's got Flamethrower, he can sit in the back line all day and be so safe. And it's not like he's going to be short on anybody who can peel for him.
There is a lot of peel with this. Now, what kind of heroics do you think we're going to see? Putrid Bile, Mosh Pit, and Locust? Are we going to go for the Swarm? Or the Web Blast? It's veritably anybody's game at this point. But we do got a big collapse here into the mid. Furious D and crew are putting up the fight, and it's actually Dreadnought holding down top, Isle by himself.
You know what? You bring up the Mosh Pit. I didn't think about this before. They only have one form of stun and a Void Prison in order to knock out a Mosh Pit. So if they get Muradin in a Mosh Pit, it's going to be really good for them. However, First Blood is going to be reached here as it looks like ETC is going to go down. Oh, and let's talk about the second takedown also coming down here. But Tempo Storm taking a lot of damage. Soldier has to back up here. Zuna, it looks like he might be going for a little bit of damage here on Quibsy, but they are going to keep this shrine under their control for now, for 2R Gaming.
Now Zuna is also just kind of dancing around. He should have that blink. He does. The Living Bomb is not nearly going to be enough, but first 2 kills going to go the way of Tempo Storm, and already off to about a level advantage over top of 2R. Not really the big early game performance I think that 2R was looking for.
Quite true, quite true. And you know what? That's okay. I feel like this composition focuses more on the end game more so than this early game, and I think that they're going to be a-okay with just a-okay while they're going against KO, right? But with dealing with this for the time being, because again, level 13 I think is where we're going to start seeing them hit their stride, and 16 is where we're going to hit that power spike.
Can we get to 16 though? Already, you know, about a level between the teams. We got now Bruisers pushing down top and no kills in the name of 2R. They are just about to hit 6, and that means 7's going to be coming up on its way. So let's look at those 4 talents, Mr. Sham 2. How many promotes? Just the 1 between them.
Yeah, they're not going to be promoting any type of NA meta this game, but they will have at least 1 to keep that bot lane under their control for now. And you can see that actually the Anubarak's having a little bit of trouble keeping up with that promoted minion constantly.
And he's also not a beetle build. That's Underking. We're looking for the engage here on top of Nubarak rather than the lane presence with those beetles.
Yeah, for the most part, actually, most of these talents really aren't that huge into any type of damage or anything. Just tons and tons of sustain. We are seeing the upgraded Slam. Furious D might be able to get out. No, at the last second, Soldier is going to pick up that takedown. And the Siege Giant's going to go over to Tempo Storm here.
Traders should be able to just kind of clean them up with those beetles a little bit. Chubbs is there. We had a hook go out from Panucci, but it did not land on anyone. And I gotta ask, what's up with level 4 on ETC? Hammer on. Rockstar lasts 2 seconds longer, and abilities cost 10 less mana on use during it.
That's the sustain that I was talking about. You know what? They get a little bit more of that auto attack buff that comes out anytime he uses that ability. And, you know, everything costs 10 mana less, so they can stay in fights for a little bit longer. This is all coming down to sustaining for a huge amount of time. Soldier looks like he's going to try and get away. I don't know if this is going to be an escape for him, though. No, he's going to go down.
Yeah, but at the same time, look at mid. I mean, bottom has already been absolutely wrecked. There's not even a second temple up, and already this fort is on its last legs. Mid pushing in. Arthlon and Zuna are up there, and look at this top as well. Dreadnought and those Bruisers. He took all those shots from that top temple on the first spawn, and he is pushing in as hard as he can. It might be the loss of the bottom shrine, but every lane is going the way of Tempo so far.
Right, and Dreadnought just pushing in this lane. You were just mentioning it, but look at this. He has absolutely nothing stopping him here. And meanwhile, look at the mid lane. They're going to lose the Stitches, and that's going to mean that 2 heroes get to sit here and just wail away on this fort. So yeah, they get this shrine. That's great for them. Actually, right now, they're not even getting that shrine. And this is just them losing a lot of experience.
All right, Trader, he's just going to use that Under King bonus right into Zuna. That's going to be a quick pickup right there, and level 10 has been achieved. We got the Dreadnought actually trying to chase down Quibsy. Furious D is there, but here comes the Water Elemental from Arthalon. They are trying to put that Kael'thas down, but it will not come to pass, at least not yet. Furious D and Panucci with that early defense. Another hook into this bush, but just not really going to be yielding any kind of value. And that fort on bottom and top are both missing now, Sham.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty rough here. They are already far, far behind in experience. Can 2Arc turn this around? I mean, you know, I keep saying, and you keep correcting me as well, they're going for that end game, but what if they don't even get there? That's the question, I guess. It's going to be on everybody's mind here. Panucci walking right next to Soldier. Soldier's just going to throw out a cheeky little stun, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that much. And, ooh, not going to be able to get him hook on.
You say a cheeky little stun, but that's a 400% sledgehammer. That is the sledgehammer at level 4. Soldier's just looking for it. This is probably why Panucci keeps throwing that hook into the bush. He's just like, cheeky little dwarf, I'm going to grab him. But look at that build. I mean, perfect storm, sledgehammer, piercing bolt. You leave Soldier to his own devices. Who needs the Sylvanas? 400% on a stacking Q is a lot of damage by the end game.
Yeah, this is a ridiculous amount of damage. So this just lends to them pushing really, really well, right? They got the Tassadar. They've got Jaina, who also helps push really well. And now they've got this Muradin going for the Q build. They don't have to worry about an auto attack that much, so he doesn't need reverberation. However, there's going to be a little bit of a scuffle here for this Siege Giant group. However, but the rest of the team is going to get Void Prison out. Panucci going to walk into the Void Prison. Is he going to be able to keep alive? No, the Tranquility is just a little bit too late. Soldier taking a Pyroblast?
Yep, that's a Pyroblast there.
That is, in fact, a Pyroblast. I'm just making sure I saw that correctly. Trader trying to get away. Not going to happen. Arthalon going to be able to finish him off.
More and more kills, 7-1 by the end of it all. That is not going to be a successful steal on top of those mercs. Soldier did a beautiful job of just staying on that point. But now look at this, 4 Stone Bros into the bottom lane. Already towers and keep pressure going to be coming their way. Panucci has not hit a single thing with any of these hooks. And with that gate gone and these 4 now putting in pressure, Tempo Storm have 2 temples at their backside that they can easily put to use.
Yeah, and this is already with that talent. Oh man, this is going to be a very, very tough battle here for 2Arc. What do they do here? What do they go for? They just lost their fort in mid as well.
That dwarf.
Keep under attack. This is going to be a very, very difficult situation for them to decide what to go for here.
We do have some Bruisers pushing top, and then has done some work on this gate. It's likely to pick up this tower there as well, and that's some decent experience now into the pockets of 2Arc. They see that already bottom lane is being held down by Dreadnought, but on a 5v4 situation, is Tempo Storm going to contest this? Because I don't think they're going to have it without Dreadnought. Especially not without Zuna.
Yeah, Zuna's also over here, and it looks like he's just going to go into that auto attack mode. Unfortunately for him, the keep does slow him down, as keep tower auto attacks do slow down your auto attack as well as your movement speed. However, still going to be able to take out that keep, adding a little bit of extra damage, so the Shrine was going to be able to finish that up. Very, very smart move there by Tempo.
All right, so ultimates, we didn't get to actually look at them, but you saw the Pyroblast, the Tranquility came out. It is going to be all the talents that you can get for survivability. Locust Swarm, Putrid Bile, Mosh Pit. We are going to be looking to Furious D to get a good concert going, but really the only big follow-up is going to be that Pyroblast. And look at this boss,
man. Tempo gonna take the boss too? Yeah, you're right. They've got sustainability, but
Thunder Strike. So much value, sir.
Well, it's not gonna help that much if your Kael'thas is not gonna survive.
No, and now we're looking at that really coveted split. 16-13, that 400% on the Stormboat from Soldier will solidify that lead. What kind of 16 towns do we got? It doesn't really matter because we still don't have 13 yet for the 2Arc. This fight is 2 talent tiers down. There we go. It's still only 1, but at the same time, it is a dire situation, no matter how you put it, Shamtu.
Absolutely tickling their opponents to death. It looks like they have to be 2Arc's MO here. I don't think they really have the option to take anybody down. Soldier is the only person who's within attacking range, and look, he walks away with still a good chunk of his life. Meanwhile, the boss going ham on the core, taking out the shields, and now the keep might go down as well.
2ark, 7% right there. Furious D goes for it. He catches 3 with that mosh pit, and that is some really big turnaround right there. Tastar is going to be out of this, and now they're looking for Dreadnought. Soldier in the back. He doesn't have the mana, I don't think, to get away from this one, but everyone is still alive from 2ark. Actually, we got Stitches chasing down Zuna. Didn't get the memo that it's all about the dwarf right now, and can the dwarf actually get out of this one? He's going to pop that healing. Trader's going in. The Underking bonus coming in big. And finally, a little bit of life from 2ark after that fight.
They get a little bit of reprieve here, and they get 2 stacks of Gathering Power here on Quibsy. He's going to be their damage. We keep saying this again and again and again. But if he doesn't have those Gathering Power stacks, he's not going to be doing as much damage as he needs to. So, picking up those 2 stacks, already, good start. 2 kills, also, great start. They're sitting in a pretty good spot right now. They need to start moving around and picking up these shrines.
Now, Panucci is doing some of these mercenaries in the bottom lane. They want to try to generate some counter push because once more, the Stone Bros are starting to march down on that core of 2ark. We also got those bruisers now up top as well in the double temple spawn. We just had the dwarf come back to us. Soldier is going to be heading out, and it looks like the big contest is going to be in this mid and not the bottom. Nobody going for it whatsoever. But can 2ark actually contest this spot? Still a talent tier down.
Oh no, Nubrek has to go back to defend for a little bit of time. He can't let them actually do that much here. Meanwhile, it doesn't look like the communication was absolutely on point here. Furious D got caught by just a little bit. Entangling Root's gonna go down there, but it's not gonna be enough. Chubb's getting caught in a Void Prison. There's a Flame Strike to try and keep a little bit of damage onto Tempo Storm, but it's not gonna be enough. Trader going down into the bot lane really cost them so much, but he had to. There was no other choice. If he let those push, the core would have been gone.
All right, so mid is going through with Dreadnought. Bottom is now being hit there, and as you said, this core is actually very much in danger of taking a lot of shots from these temples.
Yeah, and 2 shrines going down onto the keep. Now just 1 shrine, but still that keep taking a good amount of damage. And Tempo's only got 1 more keep to go through before their shrines start hitting the core. This is rough. It's rough.
We got 16 though. This is the point where 2ark really needs to start making that comeback, or they're just going to go quietly into the night. We have the flamethrower, we have the ignite. Fishing hook here from Panucci. If he ever hits a hook, I'm sure it'll be great value. But look at this, the body blocks are just so good. Zuna will take him down. The carpet from the Putrid Bio is just not going to be near enough, and there goes Trader as well. The rest of 2ark is on the retreat, and it is a naked core. No keeps, no towers. Next temple spawns are going to be some permanent damage.
And not only that, but they've got Tassadar with Promote. They've got 3 lanes worth of catapults to use on that. This is going to be a very difficult defense already. Tempo Storm looks like they want to take the the core right now. Chubb's taking a good amount of damage. Going to be able to pop that Tranquility in order to keep things alive for a little bit longer. However, they don't really have any damage here. Quibsy desperately trying to take down Zuna, but it's not going to happen. The core going to fall. And Tempo takes game number 1.
3 levels up, just shy of 14 minutes. Did you see the Pyroblast do absolutely nothing against Dreadnought?
I did. I don't see the Pyroblast. I don't. I see Phoenix. I see everything else, but the Pyroblast really, really confused me.
I mean, this is what I think was supposed to happen. You got hooks. You got the Locust Swarm for the Nubrak. He's the big initiation. But you also have the Mosh Pit. And the Mosh Pit was supposed to get people into a small area and make them dance. You put down the Pyro. The Pyro does AoE around it anyways. You target whoever's the weakest. You collapse on them. It doesn't matter. But you're supposed to try to blow them up like that. It's the only thing I can see for that synergy, because 3 warriors veritably did pretty much nothing that game.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, you're mentioning the mosh pit, get everybody in a close circle and everything like that. There is actually a pretty good warrior who just got released, who's really good at taking everybody in a very large area and putting them into a very small area.
And she wasn't banned.
She wasn't banned. She wasn't picked. That's what is really confusing me here. I think Johanna would have been a great pickup there for 2ARC to really put the synergy together. The Stitches seemed a bit not all there.
Theory crafting moment.
Okay.
What if they didn't, whoever was playing ETC, what if they didn't own Joanna?
Do people not own Johanna?
Well, I don't, but I'm not a pro player.
That's true. It's true. She's
I don't know. It's just,
I guess there are people that could possibly not be in there.
It was a confusing draft. Either it was going to do super well or it wasn't. And as it turns out, it didn't do super well. So 2ARC will lose the first game of this a very important best of 3. Once more, this is the prizes. This is what they're striving towards. And that top 8 is all cash money. And 2ARC Gaming is down 0-1 in the best of 3 to determine if they get any of that or if they're going to continue on in this tournament at all. It's a tough spot, man.